Greetings, everyone. I'm going to tell you a story, and in the comment section, I would like you to tell me what the moral of the story is. When I was 14 years old, I was woken up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and my aunt told me that we were going to someone's house to watch a royal wedding. I remember it so clearly. And so we went to see the royal wedding, and of course, the wedding of Princess Diana. And just imagine what that was like. At that time, even at 14 years old, I was still into fairy tale. So, the princess is marrying, the prince, and one day they're going to live happily forever and become king and queen. And so, of course, that was very fascinating. But here's the thing. After we watched the royal wedding and we came home, I was in the kitchen with my aunt, and my other sister was at the time, maybe she was 17, and she was saying that she wished that she was the princess. She wished she was the one that was getting married to the prince. And my aunt lost it. She says, how dare you size up with the prince, that you would want to marry the prince? When she heard that, she lost her mind. The thought that this teenager could ever even have the nerve to say that she could want to marry the prince. Now, when I think about it years later, I think to myself, that is so sad. At that time, I was still thinking that, what's wrong with her saying that? What's wrong with her thinking that she could marry a prince? Every girl at some point or the other, imagine getting married to this prince. Of course, I was reading Hans Christian Andersen book of fairy tales. So, little girls were having these dreams. Remember also, we are colonized people. And so over the years, we were taught to understand that we're subjects and that we should honor the masters. And so my aunt was a perfect subject. May she rest in peace. I love her. But the truth is still, as it was then, so it is to this day. And so when I listen to Meghan and Harry tell their story, and then in the comment section, I see people saying, they did something wrong, and how dare Meghan take him away from his royal heritage and all of that. Black people talking like this. But if you remember, and you've been with me for a while, I told you all that it was Harry that was going to do that job, that special job that he was ordained to do. It was Harry. And I see that unfolding to this day. Excuse the noise in the background. I hope you can still hear me over it. But yeah, so everything else that you see happening in Jamaica now, one of the things you can guarantee is that our people, we are great gatekeepers. We are more violent towards each other to protect the legacy and the interests of those who oftentimes would wish to keep us in bondage. It is so sad, it's so pathetic. So your enemy is not those who are outside of that space. The enemy oftentimes comes from your home, comes from your community, comes from your race. Truthfully speaking, we are a bigger enemy to ourselves than anyone else could ever be. And the mindset of the people, listen, these individuals are very traumatized. But at the same time, it's so scary to see how much they come in defense of folks who sometimes don't even like them. They are the gatekeepers now. They're the ones that pose the greatest threat to you. Our own people pose the greatest threat. You can't help them. You can't save them. Stop it. Stop trying to save them. Save yourself. Stop trying to be out there, thinking that you're speaking for them or you're defending them, because you're not, because they're the first ones to, lead the army to your gates. So when you're doing whatever you're doing, or you're speaking on your behalf, do so and know that it is our people who pose the greatest threat to us. I don't care what anyone says. Most of them are for sale. Most of them can be bought. Trust me, trust and believe. It is very scary. Some on the outside just peeping in and checking this out and looking at it from way back then until this day. It will never ever change. There's something that happened in the past in history that caused us to be where we are now. So I leave it right here. Stay blessed, everybody.